Hey guys, welcome back to the Baseball Blues. I'm your host, TK. If you guys watched my last video, well, in that video, I gave you my reasons as to why I think 2024 San Diego Padres will win the World Series. And that video got me thinking, it would be fun to do one for every team. Okay, maybe not every team, but at least those that I believe to be contenders, or at the very least dark horses. See what each of these teams brings to the table, see what gives them a fighting chance of hoisting that commissioner's trophy at the end of the season. I decided to continue the series with the one and only Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, I know picking the Dodgers is technically cheating. The boys in blue and their spending frenzies are always the favorites year in and year out. And especially again this year after the crazy offseason they just had. Sure, you could skip them or leave them till the end since it's almost a given that they're going to win. Well, at least that's what experts in betting odds say. But baseball isn't played on paper now, is it? And besides, we gotta be impartial, guys. And that's coming from a Padres fan. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's get to it. Why the 2024 Los Angeles Dodgers will win the World Series. As has been the case for some time, the Los Angeles Dodgers are the premier and model franchise in the game today. From their seemingly unlimited resources that allow them to sign just about anyone they see as a fit, to their talented scouting department that consistently hits in both the draft and the international market, very few teams are as well run as Los Angeles. Their strong farm system, one built in large part thanks to their scouting genie, talent finding wizard, president of baseball operations Andrew Friedman, there we go, also gives them the arsenal to put up the best trade packages when needing reinforcements, regardless of the cost. But even with all these vast resources at their disposal, the 2023 season started and ended the same way as just about any other has for LA the last 10 years. Preseason favorites, regular season juggernauts, eliminated in the playoffs. Wash, rinse, repeat. New faces have replaced old ones in both the lineup and the rotation, with only JD Martinez being the big name departed. But something tells me they likely won't miss him too much. The signing of international sensation Yoshinobu Yamamoto from Japan and the acquisition of Tyler Glasnow from Tampa Bay has strengthened the rotation tremendously and given LA two potential bona fide studs every 5 days. Let's take a look at some of those key pieces on the roster and see why this team might be the one to finally bring a ring to the City of Angels for the first time since 1988. Mookie Betts will be manning a new position this year, calling shortstop home for the first time since his high school days. But if last year is any indication, the position change shouldn't affect him too much, as his time split between second base and right field last year was actually his best season at the plate since that infamous trade from Boston, posting a .307 batting average to go along with 39 home runs, 107 RBI, and an OPS plus 163. Freddie Freeman and his underrated defense is back at first base. Model of consistency, he batted 162 game season career high .331, squatting 29 home runs and driving in 102 RBI to go along with an OPS plus 161. Going into his age 34 season, Freeman shows no signs of slowing down and has proven to be quite the bargain to the 6-year, $162 million contract he signed just before the start of the 2022 season. The rest of the lineup is rounded out by quality players at nearly every position. Behind the plate is the offensively and defensively consistent former first-round pick Will Smith. Fresh off signing a contract extension that will keep him in Dodger blue for the next 10 years. He may not be Mike Piazza at the plate or Yadi Molina behind it. Few teams would pass on acquiring him if given the chance. Manning second base will be Gavin Lux. The former shortstop and another former first-round pick, Lux is looking to resume his career after a spring training injury last year while running the bases resulted in season-ending ACL surgery that wiped out what many, myself included, believe was going to be his breakout campaign. Max Muncy and his strong power numbers and accompanying near Mendoza-line batting average will handle third base. In the outfield, Jason Hayward and his stellar defense return after signing a new one-year deal. A career that once seemed to be dwindling down and destined to end bouncing around the minor leagues, or at best, fourth outfielder, has been revived and reignited since his release from Chicago after the 2022 season and arrival to LA. James Outman, the Rookie of the Year finalist after a breakout season last year, is back in center. Rookies have a tendency to suffer from sophomore slumps at times, but I believe that Outman has the talent, not to mention that crazy surrounding lineup protection, to end up being more of a Raul Mondesi than a Todd Hollingsworth for Los Angeles. Free agent signing Teoscar Hernandez in his first taste of free agency brings a loud bat to the middle of the lineup and takes over in left field. With no shortage of teams interested in signing Hernandez during the offseason, he favored Los Angeles as a starting place in the lineup, and a shot at a ring were just too good to pass up. Not bad for a guy that had a down year in 2023. His signing also strengthens the bench as it allows Chris Taylor to return to his super utility role he's much better suited for. Now on to the rotation. Just kidding. There's one more bat. The bat. The offseason saw the Dodgers land the prize fish. Two-way phenom and the best player in the game, Babe Ruth. Shohei Ohtani. Same thing. Ohtani signed the largest contract in baseball history, 10 years, $700 million, deferring $680 million off until 2034 to allow the team to bring in more talent around him. Even with his recovery from the second Tommy John surgery of his career, one that will keep him off the mound for the entirety of 2024, he is still projected as the everyday DH and expected to put up similar, if not better numbers as he did last year. A year that saw him bat over 300 for the first time in his big league career, hitting .304 with a major league leading 44 home runs, 95 RBI, to go along with an also league leading OPS plus of 184. As of making of this video though, Ohtani is currently under investigation for a gambling scandal involving his former interpreter and longtime friend. Of the distraction, or potential disciplinary action if there is any, will impact Ohtani's performance remains to be seen. Now let's move on to the rotation. For real season. Going into the offseason, this was the big question mark for this team. Tony Gonsolin and Dustin May both went down with injuries last year and are currently expected to be out until the summer. While Walker Buehler's continued recovery from his 2022 Tommy John surgery, also the second of his career, keeps him off the opening day roster until at least early May. Not to mention Clayton Kershaw and the uncertainty surrounding him and if he would return for another season. With talented but unproven guys like Bobby Miller and Gavin Stone as the only healthy and big league ready arms at their disposal, it was paramount that reinforcements be brought in. Andrew Friedman and general manager Brandon Gomes got to work. With Ohtani deferring all but $2 million for this season, LA used those big savings to reel in the other offseason's big fish. Japanese ace, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto has stockpiled awards and trophies over his career like that jock that you went to high school with. You know, that one that was the team captain of every team he played on and dated the head cheerleader. Anywho, Yamamoto is a 3-time winner of the Sawamura Award, the NPB Cy Young Award equivalent, as well as a 3-time Pacific League MVP, having won both awards the last 3 years running. His sheer dominance of NPB hitters landed him the largest contract ever for a pitcher, 12 years, $325 million. While his video game numbers were right down silly in his final season with the NPB's Oryx Buffaloes, 16-6 with a 1.21 ERA over 161 innings, anyone who has watched Japanese players over the years migrate to MLB understands the stark contrast between the two leagues and why handing out such a huge contract to a Japanese pitcher, even someone as dominant as Yamamoto has been, carries such a huge risk. I believe he will be fine and potentially dominant once he gets his feet under him, but there will be certain growing pains. Shortly before landing Yamamoto, LA acquired another arm, striking a trade with Tampa Bay for Tyler Glasnow and outfielder Manny Margot, in exchange for one of their young arms, right-hander Ryan Pepiot, and outfielder Johnny DeLuca. When healthy, Glasnow is straight up filthy. His 2023 numbers may not be anything to write home about, but considering he was still recovering last year from his 2022 Tommy John surgery, those numbers are not indicative of who Tyler Glasnow really is. One look at his repertoire, one that consists of an upper 90s fastball, a slider, and a put-away 12-6 curveball, healthy Glasnow, under the guidance of pitching coach Mark Prior, will be tough to beat. The Dodgers believe the best is yet to come from Glasnow, having extended him shortly after the trade to a 5-year, $136.5 million contract. Sticking to their norm of bringing in average starters and getting career years out of them, LA filled out the rotation with veteran lefty James Paxton, a solid arm throughout his years in the big leagues with Seattle and New York. But, like seemingly everyone else in the LA rotation, Paxton has battled the injury bug throughout the years, pitching in 25 games only twice in his 10-year career. There's some uncertainty, and the will he won't he return saga. Clayton Kershaw is back for his 17th season under the bright lights of the City of Angels, in what might be the last hurrah for the 36-year-old lefty as he attempts to finish his story and become just the 20th member to join the exclusive and heralded 3,000 strikeout club. He's not expected back until at least after the summer, though, as he continues his recovery from the off-season shoulder surgery. While he might not have much left in the tank, at the end of the day, he's still Clayton Kershaw. The rotation has plenty of health and adjustment question marks, but if they can return to full health, and in Yamamoto's case adapt quickly to MLB, very few teams have what it takes to go head-to-head with them in the playoffs, especially once the barbershop quartet of Buehler, Kershaw, May, and Gonsolin are back. The bullpen, just like every year, is filled with cast-offs and reclamation projects that will somehow find their feet in LA and become dominant, like they always do, as well as returning arms like Alex Vesia, Joe Kelly, and Evan Phillips. While Phillips is expected to anchor the ninth inning, manager Dave Roberts did not actually name him the closer, instead deciding to go by the wait-and-see closer by committee approach. The fact that most of the season names in the LA bullpen, as well as currently injured arms like Brusdar Graterol and Blake Trinan, all have late inning experience, could benefit LA in the long run and shorten games for them, as teams won't know who to expect and when. Evan Phillips in the ninth? Nope, here he comes in the seventh. Who's that getting ready for the ninth inning? None other than Joe Kelly. The Los Angeles Dodgers are, like every year, built like a tank from top to bottom. When firing on all cylinders, few lineups or rotations can compare, much less compete, with the talent LA has at their disposal. They are an organization that knows how to build a team and win, plain and simple. Well, at least in the regular season. Even when they seem like they're going through a mini retool, as they seem to be in 2023, they somehow found a different gear and blew the NL West out of the water. Yes, the playoffs have been their kryptonite, as almost every year they steamroll their way into the postseason, only to trip over their own 2 feet and get walked all over by their opponent. Last year, though, was particularly bad, as the entire team did their best Max Muncy impersonation and hit an uninspiring and abysmal 177, the lowest team batting average of any 2023 postseason team. Their .232 postseason team batting average over the previous 5 years, however, shows that last year was more of an outlier and anomaly than the norm. They know when to make their hits count. They just need to be more like Freddie Freeman and do it more consistently in October. It is something that Ohtani should help them with, as he will sail into his postseason maiden voyage. After all, they did not make him the richest athlete in North American sports history just to end up watching the World Series on TV again like the rest of us. With the new talent arrived this offseason to go along with their established cogs, the arms returning from injury, and making sure to bring Lady Luck into October with them, the Los Angeles Dodgers have the talent and the postseason experience that it takes to get over their proverbial playoff hump and storm their way to the long-awaited full-season World Series title that they've spent billions, and I do mean billions, the past 10 years trying to win. 29 other teams, beware. And that is why the 2024 Los Angeles Dodgers will win the World Series. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed my video, please hit the like button below and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content. I'll catch you next time right here on the Baseball Blues.